Don't be afraid to go there. That is into your deepest, darkest fears. Because when you face those places where you fear the most, that's where you find yourself and that's where you find your twin flame union. And this is why you may experience or you see others around you in a state of separation and not much changing in their twin flame union. It's because they're afraid to go there. And that is what fuels and perpetuates separation, is an unwillingness to look at the fear. But if you're watching this video, then I know that you are either looking at the fear or you're ready to look at the fear. Because like I said, it's in looking at the fear, you find that there was actually nothing to fear at all. You find your greatest strength. You find who you truly are as a divine being. And when you find who you truly are as a divine being, someone that is beautiful and perfect, you find your twin flame has been there with you all along. And we all have our, deepest, darkest fears. And sometimes we have lots of them, many of them. And they often call it the cave of fear. And, we've got to go in and explore those fears. And if you feel completely numbed out and you're like, I don't even know, what my fears are, well, that's the first place to start. And, you can choose to know what it is that you are fearful of. And probably highly likely you already know. It's just something that you may fear so much that you've numbed yourself out to it, and it's going to fester in your twin flame union. And that fear, it perpetuates separation. It keeps you and your twin flame, experiencing that physical separation that obviously we all want to resolve. And, if I was to give you some examples of some fear, it could be maybe a fear that love will leave you. Maybe you feel like, well, if I really fully relax into my twin flame union, what if my twin flame up and leaves me? Or what if like I am true and authentic to myself, but maybe they don't like what they see and maybe they reject me. And these were some big ones for me. Or, maybe it's a belief that it can't really happen for you. And so, you can maybe, I often find too that some people, they want to, and I did this as well, is something that I had to heal through, just wanting to stay in a bit of a fantasy world because it's too uncomfortable to consider that maybe that it's not possible to have physical union in your reality, but it is real. It's for you to have. If you have the desire in your heart, that's because it's meant for you to have. And this experience of physical separation is just something that you move through. Separation is not the end game here. It's union. All right, remember that. Separation is not the end game. It is not your, eternal state of being. It's love. It's union. And it's totally up to you at the pace that you want to go. And you get to set the pace here because you have power and you're in a sense in control by, your willingness to look at what you fear the most and by loving yourself there. And fear, there's something I posted like just recently that was really good. There's often like a feeling that if we look at what we fear the most, that it's going to make it real, that we're actually going to give it power to become in our reality. But that's the fear talking to you, right? Like if we go back to the, one of the things of maybe you're afraid that your twin flame's going to reject you or leave you. Well, there's an idea that if I look at that, then what if it actually happens? But that's the fear in itself that's communicating to you because it doesn't want you to look at it. It doesn't want you to see that it's a joke and that, yes, it's a very real experience that you're having. It's a very real feeling that you're having, but it's also not meant for you to experience. It's not actually your true state of being. It's kind of like, a video game. Like you can play, a variety of video games, and some of them are quite intense and they can bring up, some emotions like maybe some anxiety or, whatnot. And fear is kind of like a video game. It's like a simulation device. It feels very real. It gets your emotional body, right? You can even have panic attacks and things like that. But just like a video game, the fear is an illusion. It's just something that's playing out in your consciousness, in your mind. And when you look at it and you bring love there, you love that part of you that is experiencing fear, then you come to peace. And peace is the true nature of your twin flame union. And the more and more and more that you bring yourself to a state of peace and love, union, physical union, starts to root in and take place in your physical reality. So you're not doomed to a state of separation. You're not doomed to being in a state of fear forever. It ends in the moment that you choose for it to end. All right. And that's a willingness to go and to look in those places. And yes, I can speak from personal experience. It can be very, very uncomfortable to look at those places. But I can also speak from personal experience that is so worth it. It is absolutely worth it. You're worth it to manifest your dreams and desires by looking at where you don't feel good, looking at what you fear the most, looking at those uncomfortable feelings. And if you don't feel comfortable doing it alone, there are people to help you. I'm a Twin Flames Universe Master Certified Ascension Coach, and I help people on the daily as, my twin flame and I continue to do our healing. We're in Harmonious Union, and we can also support you. And you can just, reach out. We're offering free 20-minute consultations. And so you just let us know and we'll set you up with one of those and support you in moving forward on your twin flame journey. All right, so don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.